everyone. Dr. Mike here, TCOM 101. In this video, I want to share with you some of the primary information resources that you'll be using to background a company or to create a company profile. Where do you get the information to include in your profile? Well, obviously, you want to check out the company's main website. Go to the company's main website. Now, here is the main website for a very interesting studio, a film and TV production company called Lionsgate. You might want to profile Lionsgate for your company profile assignment. Anyway, go to the main website. Now, what you want to do eventually is to navigate toward the very bottom. For most company websites, navigate towards the bottom. Look at the very bottom of the main web page for some links. Usually you'll find one that says About Us or About the Company. That's a great resource. But you'll also find typically a link for investors or investor information. And that can also give you a lot of great information for your company profile. If we click on About at the Lionsgate website, we'll get a bunch of great information about this studio and the 17,000 titles in its library. If we click on Investor Information, we'll get additional important information about the company. There's some real gems on this page. For example, Lionsgate has won 30 Academy Awards, or that it's created 90 different shows that are shared across 40 different networks. And in fact, if we look at this looks like a good mission statement. Together with artists, we create compelling stories that connect and entertain a global audience. All right, so check out the company's website, but you're also going to be required to check out a government document, an annual report that every publicly traded company has to file. And it's called the SEC 10K, Securities and Exchange Commission 10K. Now, everybody in the business world knows what a 10K is. It's a company's annual report. Okay, so this is really the mother lode of information about a company. It's the main source, a government agency called the Security and Exchange Commission. And each company has to file a bunch of documents and other filings with the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission. So this is really the primary source, the mother lode of public information about companies that sell public stock in the U.S. The Securities and Exchange Commission, www.sec.gov. Now, one reason the SEC was created was to provide oversight over Wall Street, to make sure there's no insider trading or other funny business going on. But another important purpose of the SEC is to provide companies a chance to make information available to the stockholders and the investors. The SEC requires the companies to do all these filings so that the stockholders can make informed decisions about the company's performance and whether or not to invest. So this will be a very important resource for you, the sec.gov website. Now, it's got a great database here for backgrounding companies called Edgar. Edgar stands for Electronic Data Gathering, Analysis, and Retrieval. The EDGAR database is the SEC's database. And it's very easy to use. You just have to put in the name of a company, or you can search by ticker symbol. Now, when you use this database, it's going to locate hundreds of filings for every single company. Hundreds of filings. Okay. Fortunately for this class, there's only a couple of these that you need to know. Okay, really, there's 3 of these SEC filings that you need to know. The 10K, that's the annual report submitted by firms located here in the United States. The 20F is the annual report that's filed by foreign companies that happen to trade stock here in the United States. And then there's a final form you'll need to know, the DEF 14A, the Definitive Proxy Statement. We'll explain this form. This is where you find out the executive compensation. How much are the bosses making at these corporations? All right, now there's a few other terms that might come in handy here as you're dealing with the SEC database and some of the filings. You know, you may have heard of something called an initial public offering. This is when a company decides to go public and raise money by offering stock for the very first time. That's called the IPO. And when there's an IPO, the company files something called the Form F1, or the registration statement, or the prospectus that's sent out to the potential investors. That has to be filed with the SEC before there's an initial public offering in the United States. And occasionally, you know, we'll see an important IPO. In 2019, a number of important companies, laid out an initial public offering for investors. All right. Now, the most comprehensive document filed by all corporations is the 10K, the annual report. Now, this document is hundreds of pages long, and most of it you have to be an accountant or a lawyer to really understand. But there are small sections of it that all of us can understand. In Form 10K, what you want to look for is Item 1. In the very top, Item 1, that's a basic, in most cases, a very rich, thick description of the business. So you want to go to the SEC database and use EDGAR to find the latest, the most recent 10K for the company that you plan to profile. You need to find this document on the SEC website. And you also really need to read it. And you don't have to read all of it. Just read Item 1, the description of the business. That could range from just a few to maybe 10, 15, 20 pages, depending on how big and complex the business is. But this is really the mother lode, when it comes to trying to background a corporation. Now, Item 1 in the 10K really has 2 parts. Item 1 and Item 1A. Item 1 is a description of the business. It should be a thick, rich description of the businesses of the company. Who is the company? What does it do? What subsidiaries does it own? What products does it make? What services does it offer? What markets does it operate in? Then you should also read Item 1A, the risk factors. Here the company lays out anything that could go wrong. So it gives an adequate warning to investors and potential investors of some of the risk. And you should look at these. Some of these are very, very relevant in terms of the future performance of the company. So I expect you to read item 1, item 1A, and pull out the best parts of this for your company profile. See if you can extract this information. Okay, now, if a company is foreign owned, it doesn't have to file a 10K. It files a Form 20F instead of the 10K. So if you're doing a Japanese-based company like Panasonic or Canon or Sony, or a Chinese company like Baidu or Youku, what you want to look at is Form 20F. And in that form, you want to focus in on item 4. Item 4 will give you the information you need about the company. All right, so if you're going to do a foreign-owned company, you want to find the 20F and be sure to read item 4. All right, one more form I want you to know about, and that's the DEF 14A. I want you to be able to know how to extract the executive salaries. Okay, so check out the form DEF 14A. This is also called the proxy statement or the definitive proxy statement. It's given to all the shareholders before the annual shareholders meeting. Okay, and what you want to look for in this form is something called the Executive Compensation Summary Table. Executive Compensation Summary Table. And this will give you the pay and the compensation for all of the top executives at the company. Okay, so this is it. Schedule 14A, DEF 14A. Okay. When you look at this, you'll be able to find out how much compensation is given to the heads of the company. So check out the DEF 14A and look for the Executive Compensation Summary Table, and there you'll be able to find the salary and all the other compensation that's given to the top executives at the company. So there's a look at some of the information resources that I want you to know about and to actually apply and to use for your company profile assignment. I hope this helps you as you navigate your way through this important assignment for TCOM 101. Please continue to take care of yourself and each other and the entire community in which you live, and I'll see you next time. So long, everybody.